Alright, it says I'm live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook some diabetic friendly food tonight. And I only have this burner. I got nice grease that's warming up. And I have a jalapeno grease, oil, I should say. A jalapeno oil. I'm going to dump a little bit of this out. And so I have these really spicy red jalapenos that I put in there. And it's been, the capsaicin's been going in the oil, so it's nice and spicy. I do like a lot of spice, so what we're going to do is we're going to season the oil. And we're going to turn it up so it's nice and hot. So put my favorite pink Himalayan salt in there. A couple grinds. It's supposed to be really good for ketosis. It's a better salt to have from what I have read. And I know the oil is already kind of peppery, but we're going to throw salt and pepper is a great spice. I'm going to throw some pepper in there, just regular Tone's black pepper. And we're going to let that warm up a little bit and get nice and hot. Now I like cast iron cooking. It's just they can be easy to maintain. You gotta season them every so often by oiling them up and then baking them off at like 400 degrees for a few hours. Great to have in the winter time because you can warm up the oven, which helps warm up the house and get everything ready. And I just enjoy them. You know, some people just don't know how to cook with them. They'll put them in the dishwasher and then they wonder why they got a rusty mess. Cast iron skillets are not meant to go in the dishwasher. You're meant to clean them out with grease or vinegar, and then you sweat out the water, and then you oil it down. It's not everyone's cup of tea. You can use any other pan that you want. It's perfectly fine. So what I'm going to have for this dish tonight is going to be ketosis friendly, because I am diabetic. I also have varying low T. I like to keep my T up because I work out when I can, lifting weights and boxing. I don't know if you saw a picture of me, you'd be like, really? You work out? I also like food. I also like to cook. So to help with that, we're gonna throw some mushrooms in here. I got some baby portobellos. Gonna put some blue cheese, because fermented cheese can help with the low T. Cheese is also good for diabetics. Having a little bit of that dairy, that calcium. I also gonna throw a smoked Gouda. We're gonna throw jalapenos in there for the spice. A lot of vitamin C for helps with regeneration of muscle and so forth. So you can see here it's starting to smoke a little bit. So I got my trusty knife here. I love this knife. This knife has cooked many, many meals. This was the knife that I bought as a chef. It was a lot bigger. It has definitely been sharpened down throughout the years. But it is my favorite knife. I'll have to get another one. Ooh, hear that sizzle. Yeah, baby. Alright. I love these kinds of spatulas. You can get them at Walmart or whatnot. They're heat resistant spatulas. So for this. You can see. Now this is ground pork that I got in here, and we're just gonna hamburger this stuff up here. And we're gonna get it cooking at the bottom. We got the oil. The oil's been seasoned, so it's gonna season the meat. You don't want to put too much salt on it. Some people really like a lot of salt. Normally diabetics have high blood pressure. And a lot of salt can actually increase your blood pressure. So I've been told by the internet, and my dogs like to bark, so you can hear. So we're going to let that brown up just a skosh, a little bit. You see, I'm just kneading it up. Get a nice crumble going here with this meat. So that's starting to look really good. These pans work out really a lot better with a gas, I think. That's my personal opinion. I don't mind working with the electric, so electric can shut off and it'll still retain some of that heat. So I like shutting off the electric a little bit early, towards the end. So it still cooks towards the end, and it still cooks all the way towards the end, and it still leaves the meal kind of warm. Now what I'm going to do is I got some celery salt here. I love celery salt, and I'm going to get a nice pinch and go over and just put one pinch of celery salt for a little bit of flavor. So you might think celery salt, whatever, dude. Alright. Now I'm going to grab a nice chunk of the jalapenos, throw that in there. Add a little bit more sugar with the green bell peppers. Throw that in there as well. I'm going to get all the rest of the bell peppers. And what we want to do is we want to get that to sweat, season the meat. Okay, you can see that my pan, I wish I had a bigger pan. I need to buy a bigger pan. Because it's already getting kind of full with just a pound of meat in here. Okay, and that will help season. And you'll hear my dogs. Good old Gringo and 5 Mile. So, alright. Let that just kind of cook. I also got a medium heat. Mushrooms are just really great. These have been washed. They're real great for testosterone. They're great just to build up good keto diet if you're into the ketosis or for weight loss. And so is spinach. I don't care what kind of spinach you buy. I buy it, like Popeyes, and I do like spinach. I love spinach on my sandwiches at Subway. If there's anything that you don't want, take it out. This is a diabetically, ketosis-friendly kind of a meal we got going on here tonight. Good healthy, has healthy greens. Greens help, detoxify the body, get some of those toxins out. My addiction to soda, I need that. Because I quit soda a couple times, but it's always been my evil mistress. I keep going back to her. I do not know why. So, mushroom's going to create moisture in there. It's going to help steam the vegetables. You just let that sit and cook for a little bit. So it's going to start steaming that spinach, and that spinach is going to go in there. I don't quite measure out the spinach because I like a lot of spinach. Normally what you put in there is not normally what you get at the end. You've probably seen some of you might have seen my Instagram, Big Mike Road. I have my art and I have my food up there. Two of my passions. I like doing a lot of different stuff. And we're just going to let this cook. This is just a one dish kind of a meal. You can add anything to it that you want. If you want to cook up some broccoli to put with it, or vegetable. If you're diabetic, I would not recommend spuds. Potatoes are not starch filled. And not good for the blood sugar. Now we're going to just start pushing that spinach down into the meat. Get it to cook a little bit more. You can see the steam coming right off there. See the mushrooms are starting to cook a little bit. Let's get that back in there. I like using pork as a nice beef substitute. It's a little bit leaner. The guy that does Good Eats on the Food Network, he likes it. More than beef. I can't remember exactly why, but he gave a whole bunch of different descriptions on why pork is a really good meat to use. So, some of you might be worried about the fat content, but if you eat cheese, guess what you're eating? You're eating fat. Okay. Years ago, when they started making 2% milk and doing different processes, taking the fat out of milk, they didn't know what to do with it, and so they made it into a byproduct, into cheese. And it's basically what cheese is. It's taking biocultures and forming it into another product. Okay. Now, me personally, this is probably good enough spinach content for most of you. I like throwing more in there. This is I'm going to sweeten this up a little bit with a nice Gouda cheese. Like I said, I like more fermented, the more aged cheese are better. Okay. We're getting a nice cheese sauce going in here with this. This Gouda is bourbon barrel smoked. So that should be a nice flavor to add to there. I haven't had it yet. So even I'm going to be a little mystified on what the end result is. I'm going to mix that around a little bit, get that cheese to melt. Oh, I can smell the bourbon. Yeah, that smells nice. Oh, that cheese is starting to melt really good. Alright, now that we got that going, that is looking good. Now I'm probably gonna put a little bit more blue cheese in here because I want the flavor of that bourbon, that Gouda, to be a secondary. The main, excuse me, what I want a nice flavor of the blue cheese. I know some of you think like, holy cow, he's gonna dump the whole thing in. What I intend on doing this, I intend on making this dish and then put it in a nice bowl with some more spinach and then just laying it on top. I'm not going to use any starches at all. I'm going to use just what's in the pan, melt down that cheese. Because I'm not going to use any starches, I'm probably not going to have a nice thick gravy, which I would love to have. It's going to be using everything that's in this pot. It's the cheese. Oh, it smells so wonderful. It's not going to be nice and thick. It's going to be a little bit on the runny side. Putting a little bit of cornstarch or a roux in there by melting butter and adding flour, or just mixing more olive oil with flour. That's a good alternative. If you want a nice thick gravy, I can reduce this down by keeping it cooking. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm going to have this cook and have it boil just a little bit more. Move that around. I want everything to kind of meld together. All nice. I wish you could smell like the bourbon and the blue cheese. It's got a great smell to it. And it is boiling and reducing down quite nice. Now you can eat like a bunch of spinach. It helps. It's got a good sense of iron and calcium. It's where I normally get a lot of my calcium. I stopped drinking milk or milk products, or I try to. So like I don't do any sour cream. I try to keep it to just the cheeses and the aged cheeses, not the cheap American cheeses, nothing like that. There we go. And like I said, I love these spatulas. These spatulas are awesome. It's time to cut off that. There we go. Notice I didn't use a whole lot of salt. Or anything else on my construction of this. Still got some cheese that hasn't melted on the way. There we go. It's a good looking brew there. So with the jalapenos, I'll give it a nice spice. The cheese will cool it down a little bit. The fresh jalapenos. The spinach is always a nice add, and of course you got the meat and the protein. You got my dogs barking like crazy. Alright, that looks good to me. Okay. So what we're going to do here is scoop some of that up, put it on top, grab some of that sauce, drizzle it on top, some of that, that way that cheese flavor can go all the way to the bottom. Soak your veggies down below. And for a nice garnish, They'll occasionally put a little paprika on top. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful meal right there. That's a beautiful meal. So I hope you enjoyed my little cooking demonstration. More stuff that I'm thinking about doing and doing more of is doing cooking and live drawing stuff. And I want to get a nice system in to where like maybe every Friday I do a cooking show, Saturday I do my drawing. I got a Patreon. So if you want to help support me as an artist, as a culinary artist, or as just a visual artist, I got a PayPal account. PayPal me at Big Mike Rote. The big is capitalized, the Mike is capitalized, the Rote is capitalized. And I also have a Patreon account, which I'm planning on doing some political cartoons and so forth in there. So I hope you guys had a great and wonderful time, and I'll catch you all later.